Hey, welcome back to Let's Play Seven Kingdoms 2. In the last episode, we got into a nice little war, and we froze a bunch of people. So that's our little approach on the peace keeping. And let's keep them frozen. I don't like all this fighting back. So yeah, this is actually quite a decent training for our troops. I could also now help them with some backup. But I think this deals equal damage to all troops, no matter how many. So it will deal the same amount of damage to one troop as it would to like 50 troops in that square. So we actually gain more from careful aiming because it means we deal more damage in total. Okay, that was... Oh my, you get the hell out of there. Okay, now this is actually... You can see we're having a lot of life points now. This is because we didn't use many. I mean, we didn't... is that a king or something? Seems to be quite durable out there. Oh no, it's a hero, okay. That's a shame. I would have liked the king because kings usually drop about 2000 gold. So they are totally worth it. Also, general, you will not get away. Oh, that was kind of messed up. Okay, wait, you fetch that. You... Okay. And by the way, sometimes the frozen units still surrender to you, which is kind of weird, but it happens. It shouldn't because they are dead, but they are still considered alive until they actually thaw. Also, I think we just gave this... Yeah, his military score took a sizable hit. And that's the danger of fighting fighters, because now that we have a lot of gold and a lot of life points, I will buy this and that. And we are powerful. We are gaining more power by that. Wars are strengthening us. Because we gain gold, we gain life points, and we gain... No, look at that. We also gain random artifacts lying around. I don't like those, actually, but I don't mind having them. Okay. The thing with this artifact is it makes the enemy more likely to... oh, now he wants a ceasefire. Well, fine with me. Have a ceasefire. Yeah, the thing with those is... if you're attacking in a squad, then the enemy is most likely dead before you actually have the effect of the heart changer being... well, effective. So you will have... oh wow. Don't do that near my towns, please. Oh, now he found that stupid scroll again. Now I have to kill the king again, you jerk. Is that a king? No. Okay, by the way, it might be worth it to just attack this town until I get one civilian out of it. Simply so I could gain the ability to build like an inn. Okay. In fact, I might want to expand now. So this is the only town that I can get without risking too much. So this is... Actually, no, I will build a third layer here. This is pretty much my center of power, and I want to secure that first. I would also like to have this auto-retreat implemented for all later orders. So if I appoint someone, he should at least have this auto-retreat right away. It's a bit worse because I think with human kingdoms, all the generals seem to be treated different. So they are, if you say all generals, then it will... or if you right-click on auto-retreat for all generals, it will mean like only all of this nation. Or even all infantry generals of that nation. So, for example, it will only set it for all Chinese infantry generals. Or for all Chinese Shaolin monk generals, and so on, you get the point. So until you have cycled through like all of those possibilities, at some point it won't have it set for you. And that's kind of annoying, I guess. I also have to look at those videos later on, because I have no idea if they turned out well, and I will just have to restart this entire session. if I messed up again. And that would kind of suck. It would really suck if you ask me. Well, not if you ask me, but it would suck. Let's just go with that, okay? Also, let's check the values here. I do want another war. I most certainly want another war. He's out there and he's unlikely to win that. Those guys are pretty much dead. As soon as they move away from the fortress, you see they only have 42 health or 46 or whatever. So they are basically rookies that are just freshly drafted. I can't speak today. And it's not going to work for them. They're going to die. Also, what about you? Did you sort out your war? No, they're still at war. Oh my, this guy has a lot of wars going on. And I think the Green Kingdom will very soon surrender to someone. This town is way too small to be of any use. He doesn't have a good general nearby, because the loyalty is dropping, which it shouldn't do. If you have a town that has so many workers, the loyalty should not be dropping like that. It should never drop like that, but it's always a sign that there is no good leader nearby. Also, yeah, aggressive expansion always leads to some wars going on, because there will be people competing for the same place at some point, and that will never go well. Which is why we got into all those wars, because people are competing for our slave towns, and the AI acknowledges that they can't take over their town without. I will not sell you food. They know they can't take over the town without destroying your lairs. But they also don't seem to care about that. And now I actually need that war going on again. So if I could declare war on anyone, that would be great. Also, it's always fun to have like a 3-faction war at the same time, when 3 armies clash and they all fight each other. And it's fun to see who gets out alive and who I can mob up then. On that note, something I would probably go for would be having access to spies. Because spies are awesome. They would allow me to cause wars around those places, although I would have to research the methodology first. But yeah, spies would be great. Because that would allow me to start wars between larger kingdoms and basically just reduce the amount of soldiers they have, or the amount of experienced soldiers they have, so I can get away with a lot more. Also, no. I don't need food right now, because I don't have any humans, but I also don't have any peasants, so I don't gain anything either, which means if I actually end up having human servants, like soldiers or whatever joining you, which happens, I will need all the food I have right now, because I'll need those to start establishing a village and that. So I gain food and I don't have to play on time with those. It's kind of difficult to get enough food to actually feed a soldier through. So at least if you don't have any peasants of your own. And yeah, that's always a bit tricky. Also, can we have a friendly treaty now? We should be, because our yep, no, I don't know why it drops when you actually accept the treaty, but who cares? Let's check his military score. He has a military score of 15. We're actually 3rd in military right now, even though we don't have much military either. Okay, you have a full lair. Note that his leadership has increased drastically, and his loyalty is at 100 now. Okay, and Rod of Life points. So the next battle has to happen really close to our town, to our towers. Or we have to take it over here. I mean, those guys could now. Also, by the way, damage building has also 39 points, but it costs more. However, it will always damage a building to half, or it will take away half of the maximum health points of a building. So if I, for example, use 2 of those towers at once and targeted the building at the same time, it would completely destroy that building. So I could, for example, take out a seat of power, I could take out a 4 without risking anything. And that is, provided I have the life points for that. And you see that, for example, taking out this seat of power would cost me about 1,000 life points per shot. So I can't afford that right now. And you can burn through a lot of life points that way. However, since you basically don't have to deal with weapon towers on 4s, it is something that is worth considering. If you have to. Okay. Ooh, Hammond's out again. I really dislike this god. Also, I think the AI has a bit of an exploit here, because they can just have him do 4 earthquakes in a row, which is pretty much instant death to most... Oh wow, we got... That is so useless. That's pretty much an instant kill to all 200 health buildings. So those wouldn't be too affected, but everything in that area, like inns, science towers, markets, complete production chains, would be wiped out by that. Yeah, that's a weakness of war machines. They are slow and they can't get away and they can't survive melee very long. Look at all those wars going on. My goodness. In my last game I had the exact opposite. They were all just uniting as one kingdom, and that one was then declaring war on me, and that really sucked because it was very strong. It was all around me, and it just didn't go well, which is why I actually set the difficulty to low this the aggressiveness to low this time, because it would mean that, I don't know why, but it seems to be affecting that behavior. If you set the enemies to be very aggressive, they will just immediately surrender once they have a certain condition met. I don't know what it is though. And you can end up with only one giant blob of a kingdom. And your chances to hold out against that are minimal, to say the least. You have very poor chance of surviving that map if they are in a war with you, and they happen to be simply because there was another kwyzan and they were fighting that one, and then it was surrendering to me, and as a frightened you are open game. So of course they were then attacking me, and I was instantly at war with them. Which didn't turn out well, even with the help of my mage towers. Also, I should probably have left some health some life points to make this, or to enslave this town. However, I can also do it this way. I can also go attack this town, beat the resistance to 0, and then build a lair nearby. Which is what I think I will do. I will do that now, and hope for the best. I hope they won't decide to found a new kingdom in the meantime, although they shouldn't, because we still have 7 kingdoms on the map. And oh my goodness, that was probably closer to the earthquake than I would like to be. Where is this guy anyway? I don't care. Also, I don't really have to look after those guys during the enslaving anymore, because they are good enough now. They have reasonable combat skill, they are a full lair. So a full squad of 16 soldiers, including the general, is just capable of taking care of itself. I would have to, I still should monitor them during larger combat engagements, just to get a few guys out and just avoid being like surrounded or just outnumbered. But yeah, this is probably fine. I'm still watching it because it's I want to see when they are finished. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I could actually look for a new auto here, although I don't think I will find one. Okay, by the way, our research is pretty much done here. I could try to get a new lair, and a lair of a different race, and could buy their technologies. So I'm not limited to all the Axiom technologies. If I get access to a Minotaur lair, I could get their tax. If I get access to an Aspinus lair, I could get their tax, and so on. By the way, breeding also works based on the race of the owner, so I can only breed Axiom here even if I have like an Aspinus Auto in here. So it is kind of fun to get the different races and to basically just expand like that, and yeah, this is what I meant. Resistance has reached 0 now, but because there is nothing nearby, in fact, let's not do that. Oops, no, not that. We'll look for a new leader here. So you're out. No, not all of you. Stop that. Okay, you can go back. My king can go. Only the king can go back. I want to see if I can find someone with a leadership skill here. You can go back. You can go back. You can go back. I mean, I don't want to send him over the map twice. Although it's not that far. Come on. Ah, screw it. Go back. Okay, so this episode is pretty much over. I want to build this lair though, because otherwise I would forget about it and it would be a waste. Also, this town would be totally worth taking over. I didn't notice. Do we have any Celts on the map? No, that's kind of odd. Alright, but there should be another town here. Okay, so apparently the Celts are the other nation. I totally didn't check that. Basically, there is either one nation for each kingdom on the map, or one nation of towns for each kingdom on the map, or they are just one, or they just generate maps with 7 kingdoms at all time, 7 nations at all times. I don't know exactly, but it's not too important anyway. Okay, yeah, that was to be expected. Okay, leadership, you. Congrats, you are in order now. You can retreat at 40% health, and you will be here and build a lair. Once the lair is finished, this will be a slave town, and I will be a lot happier and a lot richer, or wealthier. Okay? Yeah, we'll also fill this lair first, and then I'll have to see about getting a second lair in that direction. Come on. Okay, for some reason I hit shift and it would immediately mess up the selection key or thing. Anyway, I'll cut the episode here. I hope you enjoyed it this far. I'm having a good time recording this because it's a game I know so much about. It's fun. I'm not sure if you want to see me play anything else though. If you not anything else. I know you want to. But if you want to see me play like a campaign, or if you want to see me play a certain scenario, I will probably suck at those. But if you want to see me playing those, just leave a comment below as usual, and I will give it a shot once this playthrough is done, because I don't like to have like too many similar playthroughs of Seven Kingdoms 2 at the same time, or 2 similar let's plays of the same game at the same time. Yeah, that's it. I'm out for now. I'll see you next time. Bye.